Man versus 50 with author Richard Maloof. Real advice and real stories on topics, regardless of age, and important to the modern man. Now, here's Richard.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being on with me today.
Oh, thank you for having me on. This is a great day.
Absolutely. So I'm very fortunate to be here with Nicole Tribe from Cosmo, France. And we're very excited today to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, because as we age, hair thinning is part of life, kind of like going gray, I guess, right? So I wanted you to come on to talk about one of the solutions that we're seeing in the market and people are using that I don't know if a lot of men know about. So I kind of want you to explain it a little bit, let us know what we need to do, how it's done, and, we'll kind of move forward from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So today I'm going to explain what PRF is.
Yes.
So platelet-rich fibrin. It's something that is fairly new to the aesthetic space, but it has been around for 30 plus years. And what it is a way to gather all of your great potent master stem cells, growth factors, and reintroduce it for hair regrowth. Right. So very simple procedure and treatment, but very effective.
Yes, and I've had it done, actually, and you've had it done.
I've had it done.
So we speak from experience. I was very excited about it because I've seen the results have been amazing. And basically, the science behind it is I'm using my own blood.
Exactly, 100% natural.
Right. The machine extracts these stem cells, okay, and then, which is the PRF.
Yes.
And basically injecting it back into problem areas in the scalp.
Exactly.
Yeah. And and you've seen amazing results from this, right?
I have. It's when you gather that strong concentration of all those good cells and you kind of put them to work in an area that isn't getting a lot of blood flow to the area, and starting to show signs of deficit, it really brings a strong boost. And so that's what you get when you put all those good cells in an area as your scalp that's thinning. It's really going to help regenerate everything and thicken those hair follicles too.
Right. And we kind of talked about this, but we noticed that after COVID, there seemed to be a lot of people suffering from hair loss.
Yeah.
And there really, there were solutions out there, but hair transplants and different things like that, but nothing that was really, I don't want to say like organic, but it's pretty organic, right? So, I just think that this is an amazing solution. I've seen a lot of women taking part in it, but I just, like the men out there, I don't know if they really realize, because maybe they're just not exposed to a lot of med spas and things like that, to where they can get the knowledge of doing this.
Right.
And so I'm trying to bring awareness to men, like, okay, thinning hair is part of life, losing a few hairs here and there, right? Yeah. But you don't have to kind of sit back and just take it. There's things you can be proactive, and it's really pretty cost effective. It's not a really expensive procedure. So talk a little bit about that, just what you recommend for the protocol of someone who calls us and says, hey, I want to start this. Now what?
Yeah, so like you said, it's a very simple, quick treatment. Depending on their case, how much their hair is thinning, what areas they have of concern, then you'll kind of put together a treatment journey for them. Right. And it can be anywhere from 3 to 5 treatments. I would say, wouldn't you say the treatment takes less than 30 minutes?
Yeah, it really was
very
super
quick.
Fast and easy. And I didn't know, again, going into it, like probably most people, you're just like, okay, what is going on? I have to get my blood. They're spinning it. They're putting it back in my head. You don't know what to expect. And that's why finding a good provider who can basically walk you through the steps, guide you on what the recommendations are. But at the end of the day, once you start, it's an extremely easy procedure.
Definitely. And I think that, men coming to a med spa like yours, where you are kind of putting together a program specifically for men, I think that's huge.
Right.
And it's nothing to be, I think that originally maybe there was kind of a taboo sensation where men didn't kind of seek out these kind of treatments.
Right.
And I think that landscape is totally changing. And it's great because, like you said earlier, if they can be proactive, they see their hair starting to thin, that is the perfect time to start a PRF treatment, because that hair follicle is still there. It just needs to get rejuvenated.
Right.
And I think that that's a key thing. And I've seen a shift. So I
think it may be social media or whatever. I think men are becoming a lot more self-aware of the fact that it's not feminine or it's not embarrassing to go have these procedures. Actually, I find in a lot of women that I've talked to about this that they're very supportive and happy if their husbands are seeking this out.
Absolutely.
Because it shows that they actually still care about what they look like and they want to, for whatever reason. But I'm under the theory, if you feel good about yourself and you look good, you're going to perform a lot more confidently. And that goes in relationships or business or whatever. And I found that in us talking, we talked about this a lot too, it's not an overnight miracle.
No.
It's like going to the gym. It takes time.
Yes.
Okay. But like you said, it takes 5 or 6 treatments, being consistent and starting to get the results.
Definitely.
And I think this is a great time for men because there are so many things that are out there. And, we've all seen the ads for the vitamins and this, and those are all great. But this is a next level step up.
Yeah. And I would say with the aesthetic industry in general, moving towards regenerative aesthetics, and that is what PRF is. It's a regenerative treatment. So it's bringing in this new light that it's not the old school what maybe we had in mind when we went to a med spa. This is a more holistic approach.
Right.
And I think that it's opening up the doors to a huge population of men and women that just want to maintain and stay looking natural, feeling good, and keeping our hair is a huge important aspect of that.
And what's cool, we're again another story for us, but you were talking about when you went to the hairdresser and were getting she noticed, right?
She
I mean,
noticed.
it's again, you work for the company, that's fine. We can say you're promoting the company, which is great.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, we're actual clients and we've used it, and I love the results. And so just really quick, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that the day of, what can someone expect when they go into the med spa to get this procedure done?
So a very important aspect of doing a PRF treatment is hydration.
Okay.
So when you go in for your consultation, you're going to make sure that they are going to start eating a nice, clean, healthy diet, which is something that we need to do anyways.
Right.
Like you said earlier, take your supplements and hydrate. So they come in, you're going to extract their blood. It's going to be a fairly quick process of spinning it down, getting those really great cells, and then reintroducing it via injection into the scalp. Depending on patient's tolerance, there's different numbing techniques that you do, but the treatment's so quick that a lot of times, it's a little spicy at times because, you're getting injections into your scalp, but the reward outweighs the very quick discomfort,
right.
I would say.
And I definitely agree. And I think, like anything, right? We say in the industry, if it doesn't hurt, it doesn't work.
Right.
But I think there are certain spots. You had a different pain tolerance than I did. I was a little bit more wimpy than you were, but and different spots on the head kind of hurt a little bit differently. So,
and I like your technique. So you have a specific approach to doing the scalp injections that I think is extremely effective. And you start from the back and kind of move your way up.
Right.
And, it kind of all depends on, the patient's problem areas. It could be a full head or it could just be a spot treatment too.
Right. Right.
So it can be tailored to, what your patient's needs.
Right. And if they wanted, like, I see a lot of men in the crown that they start to, if that's a spot, you can, like you said, you can do spot treatments, and we can just start there. And, as you start to see results, if you want to move further around, that's fine. So there's really, and you brought up a great point. Each individual has an individual protocol. This isn't a one size fits all. This is everyone that comes in there is going to get something different based on the recommendations. And so, again, this entire procedure is going to be, tailored around that person, which again feels great. And, so it is not something that everybody you would feel confident doing with everybody. You want to find the right med spa, the right nurse, injector, whoever's doing the procedure, that you feel confident in what they're telling you. Because again, this is a medical procedure, but at the same time, very uninvasive and very easy. But you want to feel comfortable with the person that's recommending it.
Yeah. And I would say minimal to no downtime too.
Yeah, that's another
I think
thing.
that's an important aspect of it. Post the treatment, you might, feel a little tender. Sometimes, patients will say they get a little headache, but it's nothing that like a Tylenol won't address.
Right.
It's nothing severe.
Right.
And the next day, you can go about your normal activities. So, even that same day.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was going to say, you could come over lunchtime, get it done, and go back to work. This isn't something that it has downtime.
Not at all.
You just need to make a little time to come. Again, over lunch is a great time. Get it done. You're back to work, and nobody knows.
Exactly.
And again, when we were talking about this time, having these new products that come out, and just the technology is amazing. And the thought that you could actually do something like this with your own blood back into your scalp to rejuvenate your hair, to help with hair loss. It's amazing. Like, how many men, like, decades ago would have wished something like this
existed?
You could have access to it, or maybe it was just in Europe or wherever, So I just think this is an amazing time. I think what you guys are doing is amazing. Just to be able to offer this to a consumer that can just walk in without a prescription, correct?
Right.
So you can just basically, this is up to you. This is you saying, I want to do something about my thinning hair or some hair loss or some spots, and you need to take the initiative. And that's why we're doing this podcast. Take the initiative, seek it out, and you can go and have it done. And I don't understand the hesitation. I mean, this is now at your fingertips. You need to have it done.
Exactly. And it even can be a preventative,
Right.
Not only preventative, maintenance, and corrective. So it's for everyone,
Right.
I still have my full head of hair, but I noticed, like you were talking about earlier, post-COVID and stress and environmental, I don't know what was happening. My hair, I was starting to shed, and I wanted to be proactive about it. And so I've started to do the treatments. And like you said, my hairdresser noticed all of this new baby hair flying everywhere. And it really made me, I've been with Cosmo France for almost 10 years. And I'm not an expert by any means, but what I always say is I'm an expert of observation.
Right.
And I've had 9 years of observing tons of providers treating, thousands of patients, and getting their before and afters, getting their feedback of like, oh my God, Nicole, I've got to send you this picture of this patient. They are so happy. And so that's what keeps me going. And, and then I did it myself and I noticed it too. So it's like, okay, this is.
Again, and it goes back, we aren't just talking about this to try to promote a product. We're talking about it from personal experience. We've seen it. It's fantastic. It works. I'll put some before and afters in the video too, so people can see. Again, this isn't, the science behind it. You're using, it's amazing to me. Sometimes we could go down a rabbit hole with the science, but the basics of it is this: seek it out. Find a provider that uses the easy PRF program. And it's, again, lunchtime, Go
quick.
get your hair back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
I love that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. That should be our new slogan. Cosmo France, get your hair back over lunch. So, but again, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. And I hope, we'll come on again and discuss further some of this stuff. But I really wanted to get the message out to people about this procedure that's available to men and to women, to get basically down the right path or the road again to getting your hair back. So
thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. It was great.
Thanks for watching Man vs. 50 with author Richard Maloof. Don't forget to subscribe.